Well, hello once again, my friends. This is Calendor. Dun dun dun! Alright, now you may have noticed that once again I've changed my skin, but this time there is a story and a difference. You see, I've been trying to find one that I thought that would kind of pop. It would be me, and it would be good for the videos. This is the skin I have decided and settled on, and let me show you and tell you why. First of all, I found it on a website. I don't remember which website I found it on. And I was like, okay, I like this, but I don't like the colors. So I went in and I played with the colors. And I edited it and I specialized it and I made it me. But one of the things I love about this skin is A, it's got that little tie. It's got the goggles. I mean, this guy's ready to do some work. He's ready to build. Also, beep, beep. Let's get to the back. He's got a hat. Yes, there's a hat on the corner of his head. And I love it. It's just on the back corner. He's ready to work. That's right. So, now that we've got this working skin, let's get to the point of this video right here, right now. This video is going to simply be entitled, How to Troll Somebody While Following the Rules. So, I'm on Survive With Us. That is where I'm on. This is still the Orange Realm. As you can see, I've made some changes, and that will be another video. But for now, we're going to go on. So, let me give you a little backdrop story, a little bit of what's going on, and I'll explain before I go over there, and I will give it, well, maybe not before I go over there, but we need some backdrop story. So, first of all, there was a player in the server, and I'm going to go over to the location and we'll get into this. There was a player in the server. He said, hey, can anybody help me build a home? And I wasn't particularly working on anything specifically in regards to my build, so I said, sure, I'd be glad to help you, get a home going. Help you out. He says, okay. I know you can't read the signs. We'll get there in a minute. So this is the location he had picked out. And I'm like, oh, this is nice. I like it. There's a hill. You've got the sunrise, sunset. You got a nice little cove over here. We did some landscaping. He says, yeah, I like it too. I said, cool. So I started looking around to make sure this was the best location to set it up. And I came over here and I went, oh, you have a neighbor. He goes, oh, I know. I said, okay. I walked over here and I checked out the name of the user. Now I won't bother with his name right now because he's not on and I don't remember. I know it starts with Yeet and that's about it. So anyway, he's over here. He's got this build going on and it's not too bad. I kind of like what he's got going, but hey, it is what it is. So I commented. I said, hey, you're aware he's over here? He goes, yeah. And then in the chat, the guy says, yep, it's fine. So we got both agreeing that they're going to be neighbors. Okay. So I went because there's a warp here called Warp Blocks. I went and I grabbed some oak, I grabbed some spruce. He had some cobble and he had some other materials, and he had built a little kind of a cabin. That's where this cobblestone sitting in the dirt is. He had built a little starter cabin right here, so we could keep the supplies and have a safe place to stand when it's nighttime. So anyway, that's cool. So I spent about 3 days. Maybe it was only 2 days. Yeah, it was going up pretty quickly, so it was about 2 days. I just was over here 3 different times, so a little confusing. So, and what I did was I marked it out. I dug a trench for the outline of the house, and I went all around, and it reached all the way over there. It reached back there. I was trying to give it some shape, and I was going to do a partial second floor, and I was even going to set up a porch. Actually, I was going to set up a couple of porches. I had it all lined out, all ready to go. So I started running spruce logs up. Oh, wait, hold on, I got a spider. Go away, go away. I'm not wearing my armor. That's not good. Up. Put the armor back on before this thing gets me. Yes, that was netherite armor. Ooh. There we go. So anyway, let's go up here so nothing attacks me again. And yes, apparently I died while I was waiting to record this. I don't know how that happened. I feel so ashamed. All right. Anyways, back to the story. So, it was working out. I had the first floor plan set. I had the second floor plan set, and I had all the pillars run up using spruce logs. I was starting to put in oak walls. I had the windows planned out. I had the staircase built, and I even planned a staircase to go down so he could do a basement for storage or whatever he wanted to do. It was going to be his build. I just was helping him lay out the house. I come back the next day, and half of his starter building is gone. I'm like, what? That's kind of weird. I was like, well, I'll ask him about it. He may have come on and done that and was moving on. So I continued to work on the house, and I got a lot of it done. I hadn't started the roof yet. Just had the floor plan laid out. I was getting ready to I was going to finish the walls, and then I was going to start planning the roof. Okay. Now comes the part where this is a bit of a troll. Because I came back the next day and the rest of the building was gone and everything except for the upper floor of the house was gone. I mean, just tore apart, completely gone, out, non existent. I'm like, wait a minute. I was sitting here debating, and I'm like, okay, so did he come back, not like it, and decide to tear it down? But why leave the upper floor? He's not a donator, so being able to fly up to that floor was not going to work out. So I asked an admin if he would come and check and see who tore it down, because I wanted to know if it was the guy I was helping or if somebody else had done it. Now, let me explain why this deserves a little bit of a troll. Okay, when I first joined the server, I clearly asked. I wanted to know how the rule worked. You know, I said, hey, if I come up on an unclaimed base, what's the rule? Is it fair game? Do I not touch it? What's going on? I was clearly informed. And I have gone back and I have read the rules on the rule board. And this is the way it specifies. This is the way it sounds. If you come across the base, it has to look abandoned. You have to be pretty sure it's abandoned. And, and it can't be claimed at all. That's the way the rule specifies it. Okay, makes sense, right? That seems pretty clear to me. Well, the admin that I had checked this out, I asked him about it. I was like, look, I said, this guy, so apparently, anyways, so the guy, he came and checked it out. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. He came and checked it out. And he's like, oh, it was the guy. I said, well, what's the username that showed up? He goes, oh, it's Yeet something. Bamp, him. The neighbor that said it was okay. That he knew that there was a house going up over here. Yes, he was the culprit. So, and at that point, he had also claimed this chunk here, which claimed what was left of the building and the upper floor part that was left. But the rest of it was just flat out gone. And I'm like, what the? So I waited. Now I came back. I just was going to confront him a little bit and ask and say, hey, and what's going on? So he finally shows up yesterday. I come over here because I do have a homestead here. And I came back over here and I said, hey, I said, you tore down that guy's house. At the very least, you owe me the materials because that would be fair. Because I put a lot of work into that and it was my work. And yes, while I pulled them out of the warp, I mean, that's, he shouldn't get to keep, that just didn't seem fair. He proceeded to attack. See, now I went back and I asked the admin in question, and I'm not going to bother with his name. And he said, oh, if it's unclaimed, it's fair game. I'm like, wait a minute. That's not the way the rule reads. So I argued him with a little bit passively. I mean, I wasn't being super aggressive about it. He was getting a little irked because a lot of people were messaging him. So, and I understand. I'm staff on another server. Completely understand that. So I said, hey, I just want an answer to this question. If you find an unclaimed base, is it fair game? Or does it have to appear abandoned and untouched for a while? He says, as long as there's no claim on it at all, it's fair game. I was like, well, if I had known that was how the rule went, I would have claimed this for him. Because he's not been on since that I've seen. I was like, well, that's just irritating. So I came over to that's when I came over to this guy and I said, okay, you know what? You need to. His response, to come out of his house sword swinging and bow shooting. He's got PvP turned on in his claim, and he decided to, rather than talk to me, he was just going to attack. And then he invited 2 friends over. And so I came over here to this claim, because in this claim there was no PvP. And I'm trying to explain to these guys what's going on. It's like, look, I didn't come over here sword swinging. He attacked me. It's like, at the very least, I want some of those materials back. Because that's just, I'm sorry, it's kind of a dick move. And they're like, well, okay, so they gave me a bunch of dark oak logs. That wasn't really, but yeah, I took it. It's whatever. I finally said, look, if y'all unclaim it, I will tear the rest of it down. So he finally came over and he unclaimed it, and I tore the rest of it down. And then I got to thinking about it, and I was like, okay. So I went back and I read the rules on what you can and cannot do. Okay, you can't claim block. Okay, this over here is not a claim block. His nearest claim is way over there. You can't build anything, that's big and everything just to annoy them. So I didn't. All I did was claim a chunk and build a wall right at the border. Now, the reason I did this was, the reason I claimed it, let me explain. The reason I claimed it was because I didn't want him coming along and taking these signs. See, I said, well, your neighbor was rude and broke the house, but you're welcome to come join my town. Just give me a message, and I gave him the full username. And then I even threw down a sign, yes, I claim this, so the signs stay put. That way there is a reason for having this claimed. It's not just... So basically, this is following the rules. It is a minor troll because here there's still a little bit of a build that he can't touch. It's just enough, but with a legit reason. So it follows the rules, but I can still be just that much of a pest. So I recommend, if you're gonna troll somebody, do it so it doesn't break any rules. If you can do it without breaking any rules, they can't. They really shouldn't be able to complain. I mean, I don't recommend doing it all the time, but if you have somebody that just kind of irritates you, I mean, come on. We gotta break. Because that was just rude. In my opinion, that was rude. You all let me know what you think. Give me some comments. Tell me, was that rude? I mean, was that not just blandly rude? He knew it was an active build. He knew I was over that every day he came on, there was changes. I mean, and based on the way the rules read, he shouldn't have done anything, but he did. So y'all let me know what you think. Remember, subscribe if you're liking these things, and give me some likes. Excuse me. Suddenly everything's deciding it wants to get you back in your throat. That's a little bit irritating. So anyway, this is my how to mildly troll. Let's put it that way. It's not a full-on troll. How to mildly troll while following the rules. Feel free to comment, share the video, give some likes, subscribe if you like what I'm doing, and I will see y'all on the flip side. Remember, stay creative and be safe.